let's put that into contrast with a small channel, because you have both contrasts going on. When you just start, do you upload a bunch of videos, so one video every day, or do you upload 1 or 2 videos and just run ads on those videos?
In YouTube, it's quite easy to get a lot of views. It's a good place to grow your brand, but you have to have like, let's say 1,000 subscribers to get it going. So I would try to post it on some forum or then just buy views on YouTube, like use YouTube ads to promote your video. You have to do something to get those first 1,000 people there. If you upload YouTube video to new channel and there isn't any views, I think it was something like Discover ads or something like that.
Okay, Discover ads, yeah.
Yeah, so you can make your video appear on like searches for people that might find it interesting. Then you can like kickstart it with some small amount of money, and then if it's good, then it should like take off from there pretty easily.
How much budget do you pour into it? When is it enough? When do you stop and YouTube takes over? Can you shed some light on those statistics?
At the moment, I'm running like paid ads for the new channels. I don't actually even remember what it costs, but it varies a lot on the like what kind of people you want to reach out. Is it like people in like Western countries or some like other countries that might have lower income level? That affects a lot. Also the subject, if you want to reach, for example, people that are interested on stuff like investing, then it's much more expensive than reaching people that are interested, let's say dogs. It varies a lot by subject. But I think after you have like 5,000 subscribers, it probably has enough like data so you can start to optimize your content and check out how people are clicking it and how long they are watching, because it's really hard to make good YouTube channel if you have so little viewers that you don't get enough feedback.
From a business perspective, there's the trend that you have to create some type of sales funnel before you launch something, because when you run ads and they don't go towards sales, then you just lose money. So what is your take on that?
When you run Discover ads, it's not so forced to people than just running like different types of ads. It's like looks almost like it's just something that YouTube recommends, and it's closer to normal like viewing experience for the channel than running different types of ads.
There's different strategies that I've heard. I've heard upload every day at least, make sure your SEO is good and stuff like that. And then there's, the other camp, which is just once a week or something like that, and you can run ads on every single video or something like that. What would your take be?
It changes a lot what type of content you have and how much people want to use time on that and how much you can produce with the high quality. For example, when we started, people really want to see the press videos and they were easy to make. So the fastest way to grow was to make video every day and get 2 million views and like 20,000 new subscribers every day. The best possible situation is all the viewers watch all the videos, because then the YouTube really starts to like the channel. You have really good click-through rate and view times and everything. And then YouTube recommends your videos to way more people. But if you have the situation where you have only like 10% of subscribers watching each video, then YouTube starts to think that this channel isn't very good anymore and I'm not going to recommend this to people. We actually switched about 4 months ago that we do only like 2 or 3 videos per month.
Is it like Instagram where you can delete your videos once you've uploaded it to make sure that your average goes up?
You should leave them up because the videos keep getting a lot of views for a long time. It doesn't die off like on Instagram.
If you release every day a video and 4 months pass, right? We're talking now about probably like 200 videos already, of which, just a couple have 1,000 views and some have like 5 views. And you just said that the algorithm will think that your channel will not be very good then.
You should release as often as you can while still getting the most viewers watching most videos. So if you can make good video every day and all the viewers watch it, that's like really good. It's much better to have like fewer videos with lot of views than huge amount of videos where some of the videos get lot of views. And that's also if you want to get like sponsored videos, that's also really important because on the hydraulic press channel, if you look like half a year behind on the videos, almost all of them have at least 500,000 views. But for Beyond the Press channel, it used to be that we might have some video that get 30,000 views and then the next video gets million views, and there isn't like any number that can like promise to company that okay, if you promote your product here, I can deliver this amount of views guaranteed.
That is by far the most comprehensive answer I've received on that. Because I've also even talked with YouTube about this when I was invited to their offices in Switzerland. And every time I kept hearing, you know, once a week is fine, just make sure that it's a good video. But they never explained what a good video means. And I think that you've really covered it by saying, you know, making sure that similar views as all of your videos keeps growing, and don't have like videos with super little views versus really high views. That really covers it. I like that. How do you get a deal with NordVPN? They reach out to you, or how does that work?
Yeah, the brands. I think there's different styles, but we have just been doing our thing, and then companies send email to us that.
And when a company reaches out like that, do they already have a set price, or you tell them, or there's negotiation room even with like a company like NordVPN?
Usually companies ask, how much is your rate for this kind of sponsored video? Then you come up with some price, and then they usually try to get it lower and you try to get it higher, and then you agree on something.
Okay, maybe a tip if that happens to one of our listeners. When they ask that, you said a range was between $1,000 and $10,000, and if you're an influencer, 40,000. Do you actually then say, even though you've never had a sponsor, do you then say like 10,000? Or because I can imagine some people thinking, oh, maybe that's too high, and then they don't want to do it.
It's interesting because if Finnish company asks price for something and then you say something that's much higher than they would think, usually it just stops there. You are not going to ever hear anything about them. But I have found out that like the companies that do a lot of advertising on YouTube channels, it really doesn't matter what number you throw there. It might be that they return something that is only like 1/5 or even less from my price. So you don't have to be so worried that if you throw too high number. And I always try to like compare it to our price to situation where they have to themselves make some kind of ad video and then buy AdSense ads for that video, because you have rough idea how much you are getting paid from YouTube and what is the YouTube's cut. So you know how much it would cost to run that video before your YouTube video as an AdSense ad, and then they would have to produce the video somewhere. I tend to use that as an like tool to prove that my price is good to like, so that if you try to buy this from YouTube, then it's going to be more expensive for you. So you should take my price.
That's a really good way to explain it. And I think what you covered there is, we've been covering it with a couple of past guests as well, but it's just a mindset of, I guess, I don't think it's just Finland. I think it's also Europe, because I've here in the Netherlands as well, if you mention a price that is too high, it's just, it cuts off the whole negotiations. Yeah. But it's good to know that, you know, the people that actually do understand how it works, you have to leave some negotiation room, and that goes both ways. If you're a new creator, you probably want to have negotiation room, yeah, and you don't want to go, you know, low from the beginning, and at the same time you want to know your worth, and you kind of gave a really good formula to give that worth. So that's really smart. I like that. When uploading the video, do you do multiple variations, or it's literally just discovery ad on this one video? And is there something else that you do outside of the thumbnail and the title for that video?
Yeah, I have to say that I'm not super expert on running the ads. I haven't done that so much yet. I'm still like trying that out. But on the small channel I have the ads, and I usually try with the different videos and different targeting and different budgets and stuff like that. But then one thing that I do, and I release the video and I check like 15 minutes how the video is doing. I have like the feeling that this is about like this level of idea, and the video is like, it's like pretty good. I have quite good like feeling how much it should get views, and if it doesn't get that amount of views, I might change the title and the thumbnail after like 15 minutes and then keep the new one there like 15 minutes and then see how they do. And if they perform better, then I keep the ones that I changed there. And if they are worse, then I put the original back in. And I have been complaining to YouTube that they should have like A/B testing for titles and thumbnails, that you could put like 5 different titles and thumbnails and then it would run those like 2 hours and then pick up the best one for the rest of the lifetime of the video.
I honestly didn't even know about that part, but it makes so much sense because that's exactly what's happening on Instagram.
Now somehow the YouTube algorithm has getting a lot better. Now we have had couple videos that are a bit more technical and harder to understand, and we release them and they perform quite badly. But then it takes about like 1 week and the click-through rate can go from like 5% to 15% on that 1 week. And then the video starts to get a lot of views. So YouTube somehow like learns better that, okay, this is this type of kind of video and I should show this to these people. And then when after like 1 week the YouTube has found out the right audience for the video, then it starts to really get views. So it isn't so like bad thing nowadays. If it doesn't get really good start, there is still hope.
I really like that part. Is there something else you would share with the audience? I mean, we've pretty much covered all of it, but is there something else you would say, maybe some wisdom, some tips for the audience listening in, starting with YouTube, that, you know, only at your level, you looking back would advise them?
The YouTube algorithm has changed really many times and it's hard to say when it's like about normal like changes on people watching and time of the year, and one it's about that YouTube has changed, all world has changed, and you should change also. I think we have been like bit too slow to change. If something isn't working in like, if something doesn't work for 2 months, then it's time to change it. We have been doing like too long things that used to work and don't change fast enough. That's the like probably the main thing that I would change.
Anything else, maybe business related, that you would share looking back?
Social media or YouTube as a business, it's interesting because if you have like good brand and large account, you can generate quite large amount of revenue with relatively small effort, especially if you just do some like vlogging or something like that. But then the problem is that if you do just YouTube videos and make money from them, you have one product and one customer, so that's not like not very good business model. But then the like it's really hard to come up with other business models that generate as good as revenue as that does. And I think we have used probably too much time on trying to spread our brand and doing other types of business adventures with the YouTube than just putting all the time on content creation and making like growing the accounts and making more revenue while it's like easy. I think we should be more focused on the one thing where we are good at.
If you liked this episode, you can check out our most recent one here. And if you haven't already, make sure you click here to subscribe and see the next one. But if you're interested in more tips and tricks, then make sure to join our Facebook group where you can find thousands of like-minded people and you get direct access and support to any business question from the entire startup funding event team.